I'm Ralph with 13 Peppers, and once again, I have been blessed by an excellent member of the Pepper Lovers community. Hey,
Let me know when you join.
Hey, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Hunter, Honky Kong Peppers, and just small YouTube channel, tasting stuff and seeing what hurts.
It's awesome. Well, I like watching you on video because honestly, your first video that I saw, you were doing the Rhino DD pepper, and you actually was at the sink, water, and you even put your head down the sink.
Oh, that was...
It was something else.
If you've had one, you know why. They're awful.
I've not had one yet, but now I actually want to do it just for the experience. So
they're beautiful. And then you open them, and then all you get is perfumey hell, and then it burns. And then it's like an uncontrollable, like, everything hurts, and it tastes like you just bit perfume at like a not a convenience store, like just like at the club, just walking through it, but it's everywhere. It's awful. Like they're gorgeous peppers. And it betrayed me.
Oh, yeah, you gotta love when they do that. You get that surprise, either good or bad. But yeah. But here, basically what I want to do is, one of the things that I want to do is try to just get an idea of everybody's background. And when did you actually realize you had a love of peppers, and how long have you been growing them?
So, really, it was a love of hot stuff first. And I will be touching my face because, as we talked about, I just shaved. So if you see all my stuff, I have a very long beard. But really... it just became, me and my friends were kind of screwing around with hot sauces, and then we started going, well, what are extracts like? And then we would find the hottest stuff that we could find, or I would order in, and then we started pranking each other and finding really fun games to just make, life hell for a little bit. So I think the hottest we got, I want to say there was a 9 million Scoville, but I know one of the things that was in rotation for a hot minute was Satan's Blood, which I think was... at the time, 800,000, and I would make chili with that.
All right.
And it wasn't right until your lips were tingling the entire time. 1 bite, 10 bites in, doesn't matter. Your lips are just buzzing. But from there, I kind of didn't do anything for a while, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to start gardening because I used to do it as like a kid with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, let's grow peppers. What's around? So I started off with I think... 8 plants a couple years ago, and just kind of caught the bug on it. And then, kind of the shutdown happened, and did that another year, had 6 plants. They did very, very well. And I didn't, some of the peppers, come to find out, were not what they were, which we went through this season, but just kind of had the bug, and it evolved into having, I think, 9 different hydroponics indoors, Aero Gardens, and one of the Mars Hydro. And then behind me, as you can see,
I see that back there.
Grow tent, which I have a couple of auto pots in with a peach star kissed and the just a red habanero.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, they're still putting out I need to trim them back very badly.
All right. Yeah, because that's something I kind of need to get into, because I don't do any of the Aero Gardens, or I don't have my own grow tents. I got my own grow area down in the basement where I have my studio at. But other than that, I don't really do anything during the wintertime, and I'd actually like to start doing something like that. And I know I was talking to you a little while back, and you mentioned that you got 5 Aero Gardens.
Yeah, something like that. I think so. I think 5. I know I've got there's my Farm 24XL, which is technically 2 12s side by side, but in one unit. That's really fun. One on top of it, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Harvest XLs.
Okay.
I think. And then the Mars Hydra. So, yeah, probably 6 or so.
Okay. So do you prefer the hydroponics, or growing them outside, or what do you prefer?
Growing them outside is a little bit less stressful, because then what happened to me, and what's still happening as I was doing before we went on camera, I have been dealing with aphids indoors, and I'm still dealing with them.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of a bug. But outside, it's not that big of an issue. Really, I just had to watch like big pests. Like it ended up being birds, so I had like an entire shade set up, and I had to eventually put bird netting around it to keep birds out because we had such a hot summer, which I think a lot of people were dealing with. But we were, I think, triple digits for, I would say, 95% of this summer, and it was horrible because I had to eventually make a wading pool set up to put all of the pots in, and then just fill that up every couple of days, and then the birds would use that as a bird bath and wreck my plants coming in, and then also steal some of the fruits. So that was super fun, but it was a lot of trial and error. But outdoors also allows them to get a lot bigger to manage, because then I can just let them go to as big as they want, instead of like in here, which is a 4x4 tent. I really need to shape them better and let them not grow into each other, because I think the red habanero is growing over the PSK, and the PSK just has this one giant trunk coming through just pushing. So it's super fun to watch them compete. And the hydroponics is a little bit different, because then you've got to trim them back and do a little bit more maintenance, especially if you have the indoor pests, which I'm eventually going to get ahead of them. But you just have to watch them getting into the lights and like covering each other, which wasn't that bad. You just kind of put a little bit of distance in between them, but it's really just them outgrowing the height of the light at the max.
Yeah.
But I do like the indoors, because then it'll allow me to also try and crossbreed peppers, which I do want to get into later.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. I've been asked about that a bunch, and that's a later project for me too, for doing all the crossbreeding and everything. But I understand the difficulty with the bugs and everything. I had last spring a problem with soil aphids, not soil aphids, but soil gnats that actually got in, and I had to set stuff out early so it didn't affect the rest of my crop and stuff like that. And because everything is together down in the basement. Where they came from, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, those things are a pest. And just to keep them out, to keep the aphids out, I took everything out of the grow area. Everything got a bleach spray wash, and hopefully I got everything and nothing's like hiding. But yeah, we'll find that out.
I haven't started up any of the original Arrow Garden. Sorry, my dog's being very, very needy. She's a very needy pupper. But no, hopefully I had to do the same thing because of all the aphids. I never had mites, thank God, except for on a couple of the outside plants. I actually had a tobacco mosaic virus, I do believe, on one of them, but I got it away quick enough that it didn't spread to any of the others. Yeah. So that was really, really neat. And honestly, the plant still lived quite a bit, but I think that's what did end up doing it in. It was my black cobra. Okay.
Yeah, because some of the stuff you can get in there. I had something where I was growing my purple ghost peppers this year, and another pepper next to it. And for some reason, I don't know what was in the soil. Everything was stunted. Everything was yellow leaf with big black dots on it. And I'm just like, okay, so we're getting rid of all that soil this spring. I'm putting in new stuff just to try to figure out what that is. But yeah, sometimes when you get that stuff on the leaves and diseases, things like that, they're a pain.
Oh yeah. I also, now outdoor plants, I did have an issue with ants aphid farming out there, so that was super fun. So I had to figure out how to make borax traps.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a joy whenever you go out and there's just black ants everywhere.
Yes. Hey, that's the joy. Is not easy. You think you see all these YouTubers, let's just put it that way, and they're showing you all the great things that happen on their videos and stuff like that, and you get to watch them going, I can do that, and then you find out that this stuff is not as easy as you think it is.
Oh yeah, and then you see like, Rich Blood's plants, and they're like 9 foot tall. It's like, I really want to do that.
Oh yeah.
Can I do that? No, I can't. I'm just glad if I get like a few handfuls of peppers at this point. It's just like, I'm successful. I've done something.
Oh, I like it where I have like 2 raised beds, and I had one that actually did awesome, where I had plants that are 3.5, 4 feet tall, very prolific, and then the raised bed next to it, they're 1.5 feet tall, and 2 or 3 pods only, and I'm going, why?
Yep.
But, oh well, it happens. But I do have a thing that I really like when I see on your channel and stuff like that, and I want to talk about it, is your knife. Where did you get your knife? That thing is awesome.
This one.
Yes.
Okay, so the brand is Husk with 2 U's. So I don't know if it's Husk or Husk, but it was actually a birthday present last year from my mom. And I just decided, like, if I'm going to cut, and I took a little bit of a note from Boss Grows. He has a fairly large knife, and I was like, I've got a lot of large knives. I need to put this to use. And it's just been the one I've been using the entire time.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's impressive. I really, really like it. So I've actually showed a couple of people that's been over. I was like, dude, you got to see this guy's knife he uses.
Oh, and this isn't even one of my bigger ones. Like, I this year, I think I might just break out all of my big ones and use a different one for each pod test, and just have like figure out what's the fan favorite. Because I love just large knives always catch me. Like I love them, especially if they're like Bowie knives or stuff like that, or Bowie knives, cleavers, like the big blade, big thick blades. I want to use more of them. So probably going forward, I'm going to have a lot of different knives.
Okay, no, that's cool. It's always interesting to use, trying to get that big knife to get out these little seeds and everything, and that. So very interesting.
And that's usually what takes my videos so long, is like trying to do that. But then it's like I kind of want to save enough of the hot part so I can actually like talk about how hot it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it takes me like several minutes to scrape them out. But I'm getting better with it.
Well, speaking of that, when you're doing your videos, what actually made you start recording your videos and posting on YouTube?
Honestly, it was whenever I joined the Discord group, the Pepper Lovers community. I saw people doing, and I was like, I could probably do that. And it's early enough in the season, because I think my first video is March or April, and I got to be honest, a very disappointing box. But it had ones that I had only seen the other YouTubers like Pepper Ranger, Boss, Capsayan. I had seen them do like Lemon Drop and a couple of the others, and that was actually the first. I'm just gonna say hot because it's not a super hot, but that was the first hot pepper I had of the season last year. And I did a short video for the Pepper Lovers community. I was like, you know what? I'll just start doing the YouTube reviews about it and just see if I like it. But that was my intro to it.
Okay, no, they're really nice, because I mean, you're just like you're out there, and that's kind of what I like is you just tell you're just you're not putting on any show, you're not doing anything. You're like, hey, this is me. I'm gonna eat a pepper. This is what I think. And you see your face light up when it's really good, and you see your face when it's not really good. So,
well, it's so refreshing when nothing's floral, or if it is floral, it's only like a hint of it, and then everything else is like fruity or like there's flavor, and it's not just this terrible, terrible thing making me wish I didn't do this. That's what usually happens. Like, especially with the super hots. Like, we need to stop breeding super hot things and maybe do super flavorful things instead for, like, you know, a season or something.
Yeah. And that would actually be good, because that is the worst thing is some of the super hot peppers, where I'm sitting there and I got a lot of them this year that I've never had before, and I always have that hope, because the first time I eat the pepper is on video. I do that specifically, and I'm always hoping it's not floral. Always hoping. But yeah, because
and then the most pleasant ones are the ones you open up and it smells really floral. It smells like a super hot. It's very chinense. But then you bite into it and it's like, oh, thank God.
Oh, it is great. I love it. So, so do you have any plans going forward on your channel? What you're going to be doing like different for like next season or anything like that at all?
Probably vary the peppers I'm getting, because I do want to try more, like maybe not more of the same, but like, see, no, there's the filler words. I say like a lot. But I want to do probably more like hot food testing and like there it is again, hot sauce and stuff like that. But I definitely want to kind of branch out into the things that are pepper adjacent, peppers are used in them and stuff like that. And like what you can find and like recommend brands and stuff like that. Because I think that I know you started doing more of the sauces and stuff like that, like the the Lindas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the Mary Sharps. You've got the different types of Tabasco, which I actually found one of the more wonderful ones in the habanero, because I love finding that, like finding more of those, because I'm finding out, I think for my base level of stuff is habanero, because it's that, that really fruity flavor. You get like that brightness out of it, but it's still hot, but it's delightful to have like on something. It's so accentuative. That's not the word I needed, but it's the word I have.
Hey, it's a word I understand. So,
but then also what I'm starting to see in my area, I don't know specifically in yours, but a lot more brands are starting to use chiltepins with habanero and just on their own. And I love that, because the chiltepin peppers, I mean, it takes so many of them to make something, but it is literally what hot sauce flavor is in the pepper itself. It's already there. So, I mean, really, you don't need to do a whole lot. You don't need to add anything to it. I love them. They're just tiny. But actually, mine's still alive, too. It's wild. But I'm loving what's starting to come out. So I want to branch out into that and show a lot of brands that people may not see and stuff like that, because being down here in Texas, and I say down here relatively because I'm more like in the bottom of the panhandle, a little more northward, but the stuff that people can find if they look around a little bit, like the El Yucateco new stuff is starting to actually hit shelves here. So they have a lot of seafood ones and a lot of there's a couple coffee ones. The chiltepin one is fantastic. It is, not gonna lie, a little bit warm compared to some of their others. But I just want to introduce people to other stuff they can find that's not like, Frank's Red Hot, Tabasco, buffalo sauce, which is the lowest tier ever. And if I get hate for that, so be it. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, we're kind of lucky where I'm at. I'm just east of Cincinnati, and we have this hot sauce place. It's not a hot sauce place. It's a weird grocery store. It's called Jungle Jim's. It's much of it. You've mentioned this. It's an anomaly of everything that actually goes on, and the owner and all the stuff he kind of does inside there. But it has a huge hot sauce section, and there is thousands of different hot sauces. It's the only place you can really go in the area, and they even have a section which I've been looking at, and I was thinking about trying to reach out to a couple people, where they have a whole shelf which is just Ohio sauces and seasonings. And
see, that's fantastic.
Trying to see something like that, and trying to get a hold of some of the people that do that. But yeah, with the sauces, that was kind of like a thought in the back of my head. I know all the sauce tastings and everything I was doing before, that was just more of just a love. And then my son, who was actually here, who's actually now in Honolulu living the life, he was here for a month, and we spent 2 weeks just tasting sauces. I got somebody crazy enough just to eat sauces with me, so that's just what we did, and I recorded it every time. So, but
and see, those videos were fantastic, because you could see you both enjoying it and wanting to find out what something was going to be. Like, I really do think my favorite was the red Savina hot sauce that had no heat.
Yeah, no, it was so disappointing compared to what it was actually supposed to have and what the Red Savina habanero is supposed to be. And I don't know, we had more fun playing off that in our Save Molina campaign that we did off that.
I got a jar or a bottle of that because y'all had said it wasn't hot. I was like, I wonder if it's like just that batch. Nope, mine was the same. Wonderful pepper flavor.
Yeah.
Not a speck of heat.
No. And that was kind of what was disappointing on it, because like I said, I agree. The flavor and everything was excellent. And I think we mentioned that in the video. I can't remember. Yeah. It was 6-7 months ago when we made it. But yeah, just no heat, especially when they promote it being so hot. And I mean, and I say that based on us being a chili head and a normal person that doesn't eat hot sauce all the time. Yeah, that would actually be very hot for them. But yeah, for what I look for and everything, like it just wasn't there. And,
I definitely agree. They as hard as they sold it on the back of that label, like I was expecting, like, because I did the Caribbean red habaneros, which were startlingly hot for a habanero. Like, as fast as it came on and as long as it stayed around, that thing was startlingly hot. Wonderful flavor. Absolutely nothing. Like, I would not hesitate to offer that to people who don't like heat at all.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. With my son gone, it's kind of hard for me to find people that actually like heat and hot sauce because, hold on a second. This is what my wife got me for Christmas.
Oh, heatness.
I got the whole season 22 in this thing. And looking forward to trying to find somebody that actually wants to do that whole thing with me. Especially because that actually has the Pepper X bottle, apparently, that's supposed to be 91% Pepper X. I've seen some people tear up, other people's like, there's no way this is 2.63 million. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my turn to do it.
I think that's going to come down to just, as we know, the Reaper and several other strains have been, and come to find out, I think it might just be the pepper itself just being a smidge unstable at this early stage. We'll just have to see what it does.
Right.
But I would really like to try it. I want to try a Louisiana Creeper.
Yes, very much so. I heard about that, and then from Chase the Heat, I saw where he was testing that, and he said it was roughly about where the chocolate primatoli was. And
yeah, and the bit of chocolate primatoli I did do, and Capsain has raked me over the coals for this. I didn't do as much as I should have on it because it just got in my head about it, and I didn't want something I couldn't bail out of. But to be honest, that was not as hot as I thought it was going to be. Wonderfully tasty. Oh,
it was very tasty and everything like that. And to be honest with you, when I did my tasting of it, I was happy to have somebody there with me because I was so hesitant to do it, and especially by myself. But now that I've done it, yeah, I'm going to gladly do it again. So.
Oh yeah, now. Have you done one you wouldn't do again? Because I know my pick for it, and it was my most popular video. To be honest with you.
To be honest with you, if I had somebody with me and say, "Hey, I want to try this," regardless if I liked it or not, I would probably do something again. So I can't say I wouldn't.
And I owe you the seeds on this, and I have them ready to go out. Dude, if you can get Deadpool to fruit, oh man, that's a one and done style pepper for me. Like trying that pod, but I do have to get those out to you.
Oh, I remember. I remember you tasting that and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I've gotten a hold of a couple things that I'm hoping to get in specifically for next year. I'm going to try to do a kind of a themed kind of setup for a little bit of it, and I blame Boss for giving me this kind of idea because he always has everything.
Blame him for everything.
Oh, he's such a good person. I had a blast doing an interview and everything with him. So, but yeah, he does everything with these themes and seasons, and I want to try to do something similar to that. So, on at least one section, but we'll see. But yeah, it is all good.
Going back to the question you asked me on what I want to do for this grow season, I honestly think I want to grow more chocolates and more golden or mustard pods, because I do have, like I was dealing with the aphids on my stuff. I've the chocolate swamp thing so far in hydroponics blows away everything else for growing. That thing is hopefully going to be prolific, but I guarantee you that thing is probably at stem probably going on 3/8 of an inch thick. Like it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Like it's huge, and I had to top it. I've never had to top one in my hydroponic setup yet, and that is the first one. But it's just growing like a madman. But I definitely want to. I'm growing out Podzilla, Golden Podzilla, and Deadpool, of course, because I want to inflict that on as many people as possible. Spread pain. That is my goal. And then what is the other? I don't know what to call it because I can't ever remember everything that went into it. I call it Lemonade Reaper, but it's the one from Matt that's like Jay's pink, peach, purple, something else, and then a lemon Reaper. So I just call it Lemonade Reaper. That was one of the most fun ones I ever tried.
Okay. I don't think I saw that one. I thought I've seen them all, but yeah.
I think it was one of the kind of Blitzkrieg pepper videos I did where I tried like 3 or 4 at a time. I think I did it with Chocolate Swamp Thing. It has a wonderful flavor. It's very hard to describe, but the burn is so interesting because there's no heat, but your nerves tingle. Not unpleasantly, but it's just different.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where you expect all the heat to hammer you from like a Reaper or something like that. None of it. It just tingles.
Just tingles. Just
Yeah, it's absolutely one of my favorites. So like, I think,
Huh.
did you ever try the Sweet Maruga?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yep.
kind of akin to that. Like your body's
Okay.
like tensing to go. What? Where is it? What's going on? And it just never appears. It's the weirdest thing, and I love it.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, because, I mean, some of them, when they give you a different profile you've never had before, is some of the most interesting things. And I can't think of it right offhand, but I got one of the videos that's going to be out in the next couple months where it must have peaked. It felt like it peaked 3 different times. Mm-hmm. And it was really, really cool. And I don't remember right offhand what it was, but it was so interesting and so fun. I was like, I am definitely growing more of these next year just because of the way the profile was. It was awesome. But yeah, when you get the different profiles, the flavors, the way they feel, the different burns and everything, I mean, it's half the excitement right there.
Oh, exactly. And it's just like the ones that start edging you towards a panic. And it's like, is it going to happen? Or can I take it? I can't touch the drink. And it's just like, if I can outlast it, it's a really fun pepper for me. It's the flavors that get me more than anything else. Because if it's like, I've had one, I don't remember which one it was, but it was just extremely bitter, and it just like was striking. It was so much worse than the heat was, and it just made me not want to continue. But I think I ended up toughing it out. But if it's extremely floral, I'm having a bad time at that point.
Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, as a bitter, I think I did a chocolate Hellboy. Trying to do that, but yeah, it was just had one of those tastes. It's just like, I don't know. Had a great heat and everything like that to it, but yeah, just the bitterness, the flavor just was not there. But
yeah, for me, honestly, the chocolates were a really, really fun diversion from like the normal, reds, orange, yellow. Like I really, really enjoyed it. Almost every single one of the chocolates I had this year, because they all had like a great flavor with that earthiness and like honestly kind of a dark sweetness to them overall. I never had an overly floral or really bitter one.
No, I think the most floral one that I had on the chocolates was the Remahaas Fun Strain. I think that was the most floral. It just hit up front as a floral. But yeah, as chocolates and everything like go, yeah, really, really good. I'm going to be growing a lot of more of those. And the other thing too, which I had a problem with this year, that you're mentioning growing, is your mustards. I had a mustard ghost, mustard 7 pot, and my problem is I didn't know when they were actually ripe. And when I decided to check them, they were overripe. They were done. And I was like, great. So it was bad on that. And because I have a couple other ones coming in, I have a Swamp Thing, I have a DeHulk, and a couple other ones, which are a greenish pod that I got to really be careful with this year.
See, I had that problem with my Black Scorpion Tongue because it's an unstable strain. It's one of the CPs from, I believe, is it Christopher Phillips, I think? Just the CP peppers that are crossed by him. I got it from chiliplants.com, and I had to go back and reread it. They're supposed to turn red when ripe, but they had a disclaimer in a second spot that I just kind of glazed over that said that they may just remain dark, which they are a black plant with like kind of cream accents. And so I was waiting for them to turn red. They started turning soft on me, so I was like, oh, I need to pick these. And those were a fantastic plant to grow. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. Just some are just very hard to tell because they don't do anything.
Right. So I'm just trying to start pulling pods and testing them as I go, and we'll figure it out and everything. So.
Oh yeah. Like this year, if I can get a hold of another one of those plants, or get mine to definitely germinate, I would definitely love to have more of those because they were fantastic, especially as a powder pepper.
Okay. So that's good. I was able to keep some of the seeds out of mine, but I didn't actually taste any of mine this year. So we'll see how that turns out next year.
Yeah, I was really excited because my cayennes were very, very sweet this year. And the pepper powder I made from those is just fantastic.
So that's awesome. All right. Well, I got a question for you, and some of the questions I've asked everybody else. But with just your pepper experience, eating, tasting, everything like that, do you got any good pepper stories that people either not heard or you'd like to share, or anything like that at all?
It's more like it's more pranks. But for the one I kind of have on video is during early NFL season, or football season, I should say. But one of my friends, he is a Jets fan, so already a tragedy. But I brought some peppers because I was like, if it gets really boring, we can just try and see who can grunt it out. But I brought a lemon reaper with me. I'd never had a reaper, like a pure reaper, before that. So he was down, and one of my other friends was down, and neither of them really do hot stuff, but they were just game to try it. And I told, I just straight up warned him. I was like, I've never had a straight reaper. I've always had it as an additive or a flavoring. And I was like, this is probably going to be really hot. So just know. It was not too bad for me, but my friend, he was laying down because it was really getting after him. And I walked over, and I have kind of on video. I go, hey, are you okay? And he goes, no. And it immediately, his stomach went. It was literally as soon as the last of O.
Uh-huh.
And it was just a bad time.
Uh-huh.
But no, we would definitely pull pranks on each other. We did prank one of our friends who is he moved back to New Mexico, not because of this, but that would have been awful. But I know it was a successful prank. But he was on the phone with his then girlfriend, but we had some golden Oreos, and I put straight up Satan's blood extract on the bottom of it and just handed it to him. He, without thinking, boom, popped the whole thing in his mouth, and his eyes immediately widened, and he looked at me, and I was like, gotcha. And so we all watched him go another 20 minutes on a phone call where he couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
He was just sweating, turning pale, going red. It was watching every single part of the grief process happen. And he never let on to his girlfriend. It was fantastic, and boy, was he mad afterwards.
Oh yeah, definitely be a little bit mad on that,
but no, we would always do like wing roulette and stuff like that, which is where you just get a ton of wings in like a really mild sauce, and then somebody who's not playing the game, or the person who lost the first round, gets to pick one of the wings, put as much extract or hot sauce they want on it, and put it back, and then everybody chooses blindly.
Oh.
And then if you get it, you lose. Oh, it's a great game.
That would be fun. If everybody's in on it, that'd be fun. I would love to do that.
Yes, if you have a group of friends, yes, it is great.
Yeah. If you had a group of friends that are all into that would be great and everything like that too. So people that don't eat hot sauce all the time, I don't prank or anything like that. But
no. I stay away from people who are like, I can't stand it. I'm like, okay, cool.
But if you got that group of friends, that'd be excellent. Yeah. So
or coworkers. Coworkers is good.
Oh too. Yeah. But no, it's just great. Or I like the friends you have, and especially when they try something, they think, well, he can do it, I can do it with no problem. Yeah.
Or they think they're big and bad enough. That's the best one.
Yes.
When it's like, no, I can handle it. Are you sure? Because this one hurts. I know that.
Yeah. We get people over here for a family cookout and everything, and they're always like, oh, I can eat hot sauce with you. I can do this and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, they're not around. They're not showing. They're not doing anything because they realize that at that point it's not a game because Ralph knows his shit on that.
Yes. Oh, dude, exactly. And you also know the trick of not, if you're going to drink, don't drink immediately.
Oh yeah.
Let it reach that peak and kind of settle there, because if you don't, whatever you drink is going to spread that oil around. And I have to constantly explain to people, like, hey, it's going to be madness at first, but if you just let it chill for a second, it won't be as bad when you take a drink, because then it ignites in new places worse. And it's like it took me forever to figure that out
Mhm.
because I would take a drink of water, and honestly, I can use water even though it is an oil. Like it doesn't bother me as if it's tapering off, but just let it sit there for a second, and it's not going to be as bad.
And well, my wife thinks I'm crazy because when I'm eating and stuff like that, I typically don't like to drink. Just because I want to know how long it's going to last, how the burn is, the rise, falls, all that kind of stuff. I'm interested in that whole process. So typically, even if I'm eating really spicy stuff, I don't really drink anything.
Yeah,
So,
like I won't drink until the end. Whenever, like if I'm going to do multiple videos in a day, especially, I'll wait till it's almost gone and then start drinking something.
Yeah, so.
And try and get the video out and like try and tell people, okay, it's hot. It's either really hot or all right, this is manageable. And then okay, it's tapering down now. This is about how long you can expect in the video.
Yeah, and it's and I don't know. I get surprised every once in a while because we got 3 sons, and our middle son was out picking peppers with me one day, and we were picking white habaneros. Okay, we're out eating there. I like them, so I'm popping them. I'm eating them as I'm picking. That's great to me. And he asked me, he says, "Do you think they're hot?" And I was like, "I don't think they're hot." He doesn't do any kind of hot sauce, period. And he decided, he's like, he just popped one day. And I saw him pop it, and my face was like, "What did you do?"
Yeah, oh no.
And he looked at me, and then just a couple seconds later, he realized what he did. And he's spitting it out and everything like that. But yeah, it's just great. But having it with your friends and doing that and looking at their different reactions, because I actually made a custom hot sauce earlier this year that I had for a cookout that nobody wanted to try. But I blended a bunch of my hot peppers down, just a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of salt, but basically I just called it a stupid sauce. And my buddy Doug has been in a couple videos with me, decided to taste that, and just to sit back and watch him and his facial expressions and everything, because I estimate it right about 1.4 million on the Scoville, and like I said, it can be up, down, anywhere like that. But just seeing his facial expression and eating it and everything like that, because at that point he's never had anything that hot. And it was just wonderful to watch, especially when they're going, "Oh, I'll try it, not a problem." And you just get to sit back and watch. It's wonderful.
No, and I also make my own sauces, and like I love making PK Criollo, I think, is one of my favorites. It's just a super simple sauce. I love fermenting hot sauces, but I made this is one of the fun ones. One of my coworkers requested a sauce to make him cry, and he likes hot stuff at the same level I do. So I was like, okay. Cool. And it was from Inked Gardener. It was one of the last flat rate boxes of the season. I just managed to get a hold of one. So I processed everything. I touched none of the peppers, seeds, placenta, all of it. Like everything except stems. I just ripped stems off and just threw them in. Made a very, very basic brine sauce. There were no additives. It was straight up peppers. You open it, the house smells like heat. I took it to work. He tried it. He immediately starts sweating and goes, "Oh yeah, that's hot." And just like tears start forming and going. He ate more at lunch for a solid 15 minutes. So he understands. It screwed his stomach up the rest of the day, the rest of the 3 hours that we were there. Other people decided to try it. And in fact, people would walk up and be like, "What is that smell?" from like across the building. And I'm in construction, so there's a lot of stuff going on. They were like, "I smell that outside. What is that?" And I'm like, "Try it. It's hot, but you're free to try it." I never make anyone try it. I'm like, if you want to try something, go for it. But I will warn you, this is very hot. Several people will not try anything I make anymore just because of the one time. But I love making sauces. Like I love like the PK Criollo, which is a Puerto Rican style. I make, what is it? Sort of buffalo style, Louisiana style hot sauce. I make that with powders and bell peppers. I love making my own sauces, and a lot of people really like some of the lower tier ones I make, because that buffalo sauce, or the like Frank's Red Hot style sauce. There we go. It's just a fantastic thing to throw on something, because it's all the flavor I want to put into it, and it's just not vinegar heavy. It's just good. And I
Yeah.
love being able to control what I can put on something.
Yeah, and I mean that's half the point too, because I got hot sauces that are super hot, and they're just hot because I just want super hot. But the majority of the time, I'm happy with a hot sauce that's only 6,000-7,000 on a Scoville because it's the flavor. I want the flavor and everything like that. And honestly, that's the majority of what I eat over all the super hot peppers and everything like that is something in that lower range because I mean it's just an awesome addition to whatever dish that you're having. So yeah, and like you said, being able to make your own hot sauces and everything. I mean that's the best thing to do. I mean create, experiment, and everything else with flavors. It's just wonderful. And then you get to hand them out to people you work with, let them taste them and everything. I mean, it's just great.
No, 100%. It's like making a hot honey, or excuse me, honey garlic with serrano. It's wonderful just to experiment. Like if you have something on the shelf, give it a shot, and then the flavor, like figuring it out the first time, like from a base recipe, and then going, this makes me think this would be good. And usually 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be just where it can chain off. And then you have something new and delicious, or boil it back to its basics and go, okay, I want to do this. And then can I repeat it? That's why I love the process of cooking and stuff like that. And that actually did reignite a lot of like the interest in cooking for me. Fermentation did.
Yeah, fermentation's awesome because like I said, as from where I mentioned, Jungle Gyms. Every once in a while, they'll get a bunch in of red serranos, and totally right because normally they come in green, but these come in red, and I'm like, oh, so I gather up as much as I can, freeze them or whatever. But when I can get them fresh, I ferment them, and then I make my own sriracha out of it. So, and yeah, homemade sriracha is the best. I mean, there's nothing store bought. I mean, you can get your rooster sauce and everything, but yeah, your homemade is so much better than that.
What was it? Yeah, no, I mean, like any kind of like take a recipe and then just try different peppers with it. It's fantastic, and I also love how it changes the pepper heat and flavor itself.
Yeah,
because also if you make like a flat rate box and you just throw all the peppers together, that's really fun because every type of capsaicin in it does something different all at once, and you can feel it move.
Yes,
like the heat develops everywhere, and it feels like it's just striking at you. And I love finding out how stuff plays together. And it's not bad tasting; it tastes wonderful. It is just so much heat at differing levels.
Yeah. I mean, that's half the fun and everything right there. So,
oh yeah, and I've got a what I call death paste from this season, still fermenting in my cabinet. So that's going to be really fun to just crack out and see how that tastes. I need to stir it.
That is awesome. So, okay, well, cool. Just trying to think of anything else I can actually ask you that other people might be interested in, but. The only thing I really wanted to say is, first of all, I wanted to thank you because now I'm part of the Peppers Lovers community and I'm trying to be a little bit more active in there. But I didn't know anything about the Peppers Lover Discord until I guess you mentioned something and had my videos loaded on through there through some people. And then I met Pepper Ranger and then I went onto the Discord and everything like that. So basically, I got to thank you for the introduction to that site and to everybody there. So thank you for that.
Dude, it was not a problem. Like I think I was trying to remember where I found your channel. I can't remember the video. I know the one that really got me was one of the early on ones that made you break. Because like, you know, you kind of do what I do. You kind of try and be clinical, kind of detached from it, not curse or anything like that. But if it's good enough or hot enough, it will do it. It'll make you break and just be like, well, fuck. That one of them just really got you, and it just tickled me so bad. I was like, I need to remember this, and that's when I subscribed. And then we got to talking on the Discord about different channels and stuff like that, and I was like, y'all have to know about 13 Peppers. And they were like, who's that? We've never watched it. I was like, hold on. And I think I shared either that video or one with I think it might have been you and your son doing one, and it was a pretty good heater, and everybody loved it. And we're like, oh, we're adding that to the YouTube auto update channel, and I was like, I will invite him here. Let me go like message him, and that's whenever I hit you up and said we were over there.
Yeah, so that is awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you're putting out quality, dude. It's always fun when you drop a video.
I thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to have fun.
No, 100%. That's all this is just fun.
So I
mean, I wish I could get monetized, but it is what it is.
Dude, I'm not even monetized, so.
Oh.
And anyway, I mean, until you get to some of those high numbers, it's only pennies, but eventually it'll happen, and those pennies will help a little bit.
I mean, one day. Just be nice to pay for my pepper habit.
Yeah. One day we can pray, maybe.
Intercession from somewhere.
But no, this is all great. So thank you very, very much. So do you got anything that you wanted to bring up or talk about or anything? Or
no, just go check out the channel, Honky Kong Peppers on YouTube. And I never remember how I spell it. I think it is Honky. And if you're on, just go check out the Pepper Lovers Discord.
Yeah,
the PLC. That's where we all hang out. It's super fun over there. We talk a lot of trash, but it's fun. I need to become more active. It's just been busy lately.
Oh yeah, life happens and everything like that. Yeah. But your links to your YouTube channel, everything like that, I'll include below. Besides YouTube and the Peppers Lover Discord, is there any other place they might be able to find you?
I've got a podcast where we took a long break that ended up getting a little bit longer because my co-host is a little bit busy with his main job and his side gig, but it is the Pod Damn Electric Show. So you can go, we got, I think, 25 or 26 episodes up. You can check those out. And then Spooky Dukes, that's another one. And I need to resurrect that because that's a really fun one. That's about haunted stuff. But really, that's my other stuff that I've got going. So if y'all want to listen to that and listen to me talk.
Hey, no, that's cool, because especially doing podcasts, because I just launched a podcast myself with my son, the one that was tasting peppers with me. We are discussing Dungeons and Dragons, because that is our passion.
I love Dungeons and Dragons. I actually just got Baldur's Gate 3.
That's what all these books are back here. Old school tabletop. So, so we've already got 8 episodes recorded. 3 of them just launched on the 5th. Of January, so yeah. It's all good.
I think a few of the people in the PLC are into it too, so if you ever need just if you ever want to add another game, hit me up. I'm always down.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes, I love RPG games and tabletop games in general.
You know what, I will take you up on that, because here, please, hopefully by end of summer, once we get everything settled down, because I won't do it during my peak growing season, is we are going to start a live action game over probably, I don't know what we'll play over, but we'll use a VTT and be playing.
Yeah, let me know.
Definitely hit you up. That'd be awesome.
Always do stuff.
Cool. Okay, well, great. Well, like I said, I'll add all the links and everything to the videos below. I want to say thank you very much for your time talking to me and let me do this interview and everything. So this is wonderful, because I enjoy just meeting everybody instead of just doing the texting back and forth. So, that's going to be about it. So I guess we'll go ahead, and I'm Ralph with 13 Peppers, and I wish you all a very good day.
Yes, sir. Hunter, Honky Kong Peppers on YouTube. Hit me up.
Awesome.